So a couple months back, I went on this whole Bob Dylan kick because I started reading his biography, and I actually finished the biography. But as I was reading it, every time we got to a new album in the book, I would go and listen to that album, and it was a really fun process and really cool to see and go through his discography. Especially as somebody born in the '90s, I didn't get to hear a lot of his discography, growing up. It just wasn't in my musical realm. So as a songwriter myself, it was really cool to go back and hear his music, just in the context of his albums. Like I've heard, a lot of his songs here and there, and like, as a songwriter, everybody talks about how talented he is, which he is, and how he's such a classic American songwriter. But it was like I'd always go and listen to just a single or a song here, or like, and it was but hearing in the context of the whole album, in the context also of the biography, and seeing what was going on in his life and the life in the world around him, was a really, really cool experience. So there were a couple songs that stood out to me, and this was one of them. So I'd love to. I figured it'd be really cool to do some sort of reaction and intentionally listen, because a lot of times that I was listening, I'd be like on a run, and I'd listen to the entire album on a run. And I am specifically listening because I can't really do much else, But like listen now musically where I'm breaking it down will be a cool experience. So that's what we got. This is Bob Dylan, Subterranean Homesick Blues. My name is Jacob Restituto. If you're new here, welcome. Stick around and check out. I'm sure we got plenty of stuff that you're gonna enjoy. So let's see what we got.
John is in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government. The man in a trench coat, badge out laid off, says he's got a bad cough, wants to get it paid off. Look out, kid, it's something you did. God knows when, but you're doing it again. You better duck down the alleyway looking for a new friend. The man in a coonskin cap and a pig pen wants $11 bills. You only got 10.
So let's talk about musically. So it's interesting. We can find it really quick. Subterranean Homesick Blues came out what year? I'm gonna say 1967 is my guess. What year did that come out? Does anybody know in the comments? Release date was 1965. Okay. My dad wasn't even born yet, which is crazy. One of the things that I appreciated musically in his music, you could hear, especially here, and I feel like to some degree, music has lost its, including I would venture to say, definitely I would say my music, and like I would even venture to say to some degree even Bob's more recent music. There was something about the rawness of the recording in the music industry back in the 60s and 70s where, like, when I heard his albums, they weren't perfect musically. Meaning, like, the guitarist, you could tell, like, they meant to hit a note and they didn't. But because recording was such an arduous process, and they often recorded, I think they probably recorded a lot of it together where the whole band was recording. Even if they weren't, they were going more for the feel of the song than the technicality of the song. And the music industry, including myself, like, this is something I was inspired to kind of move towards, is like go back to this like feeling, like music was created to like as a to play as community, bring community together, and like they weren't like the settlers or like the indigenous people that were making music, like they weren't like, oh, let's make it perfect. They were just like, let's make something that feels good, and let's just play our instruments, right? And we lost that when we had the opportunity to kind of go and redo a take, or I could record that better, and I'm not saying that's bad, because now we have like higher quality, but what is quality? It's just an interesting definition. How do you define quality? Is it the closer to perfection, or is it the feeling that you get from it? And I was just been really inspired with that, the musicality aspect of the fact that things weren't perfect. Which I think is really something interesting to talk about. Also, that being said, like you could hear the quality of the recording. It almost sounds like it's tremoloing back and forth in the stereo spectrum, back and forth, kind of going back. But it's just part of the authenticity of the time, man.
Big pen wants $11 bills. You only got 10. Maggie comes 3-foot face full of black soot, talking at the heat, put plants in the bed, but phone tapped anyway. Maggie says the man said it must bust an early man. Orders from the DA. Look out, kid, don't matter what you did. Walk on your tiptoes, don't tie no bows. Better stay away from those that carry around
The rhyme scheme is unreal. So, what an incredible lyric to that. That being an ode to his other songs and other music, which is incredible. But let's talk about the instrumentation we have here. It sounds like there's two guitars. One's doing a rhythm guitar. One is doing more of a lead. We have his harmonica. We have a bass, which is kind of doing boom, 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 boom kind of thing. And then we have the drums, obviously. And then we have his vocals. What's interesting though is it's all kind of mixed together. So like every once in a while you hear a little bit of this, you hear a little bit of that, but like it's hard to kind of distinctly pick out each note, which is an interesting aspect of the music for sure. I bet there's probably keys when you can't hear it. Keep the rhymes on. Some of the stuff that he writes, though, you're like, what does that mean? Watch a parking meet? Like, what's the context of that? You know what I mean?
Oh, get born, keep on, short pants, romance. Learn to dance, get dressed, get blessed. Tired, be success. Please her, please him. Buy gifts, don't steal, don't live. 20 years of schooling and they put you on a day shift. Look out, kid, they keep it all hid. Better jump down a manhole, light yourself a candle. Don't wear sandals, try to forge a scandal. Don't want to be a bum, you better chew gum. The pump don't work.
Like, what does it mean? If you don't want to be a bum, chew gum. Like, some of these things, like, was there meaning behind it? Was there not? Like, was it just totally just drug inspired because he used a lot of drugs in his day? Or was it like, definitely some of the lyrics were like definitely like protest things or definitely had meanings, talking about like, just whatever it may be. I think I read somewhere that this was talking about like, the state of America and some of the things that he was seeing, regarding the fire hose and all, like just what he people. There was another musician that was kind of coming up around the same time as Dylan that never really got the same notoriety as Dylan, but for a while they were kind of both on the same page, and then Dylan exploded and this other guy actually ended up committing suicide. But due to mental illness, his name was Phil Oakes, and in a song, I think in an interview or something like that, Phil Oakes referred to himself as a what did he call it? It was like it was I think it was a lyrical journalist or a musical journalist, and essentially what he was saying was that he was like a journalist documenting what was happening in society through music. And I was like, wow, that's such an incredible description of what as songwriters can do. And I feel like Bob for a very long time did that, and then he there was a point in his career where he was like, I don't want to be a protest singer. I don't want to just sing about what's going on in society. I want to sing about what's going on in my life, in my world, or in my imagination. And that's every songwriter's choice to choose what you want to sing about. But it's really interesting. What an interesting phrase, man. So this song, I definitely do wish that it was longer instrumentally. Like, it kind of just ends, and I'm like, but the instrumentation is so good. I kind of wanted to hear more of it. But alas, all good things must come to an end. The rhyme scheme is just unbelievably incredible, and this just like some of the things that he wrote. And what's interesting is actually listening back to him in interviews now, be like, I don't know how I wrote that stuff. It just came to me, which is a really interesting debate about creativity in general. Where does it come from? How does it come? It's a very, it's one of those age-old questions, right? So I hope you enjoyed that. It's an incredible song. Let me know what you want to see next, or send me a text if you have any requests or want to say what's up. Have a great day. God bless and peace out.